Hello everyone, welcome to Tesla Shree channel. In today's video I'm testing out the FSD beta version 10.12.2. This is my second test run. I am taking my puppy to the vet today, and then I'll see how it does. So it did some hard braking here, though it didn't have to, because it thought there was someone waiting there who was trying to merge into the lane, but they were stopped. I wouldn't have braked so hard because there was someone behind me who had to brake hard as well. So that was it's been doing that as well, because it is trying to be really safe. And whenever it sees someone in an intersection, or maybe someone trying to get onto the road, it does try to brake hard. So that's something that needs to be improved on. So I did press the feedback button just to report that, because usually you wouldn't stop so suddenly, so hard, like you wouldn't brake so hard. And if someone's not anticipating behind you that you're going to brake and stop for them, there are chances of being in a fender bender for sure. So the light turned yellow, but since we were at a higher speed, I think it was a good call that it didn't try to brake and then try to stop for the yellow. It did go through it, so that was, I think, a good call there. Now we are merging onto the highway, and it should take me off of beta, and then it will put me on regular standard full self-driving autopilot, navigate on autopilot. So that's what we'll see here. You'll see the animations change once we are on highway. And also my settings currently are that I have enabled confirmation before it does a lane change. So I'll have to turn my indicator on. So there are a lot of cars coming here. Well, it doesn't look like it was going to merge, so I took over. It was a busy merge there, so it was strange. So I took over there for a second, and then I merged myself. So while merging, if it will try to merge when there is an opening, and if it starts to see the solid lane again, it doesn't take you. I mean, it doesn't merge. At least that's what I've been seeing. So I didn't want to do that, and then it would have exited me out, and then it would have tried to merge me back again in the next entry. So I just took over there for a second. So we have a bit of highway driving here. I'll fast forward a bit, and then I'll catch you back on when we are entering the streets again, city streets. one of the lanes was closed there, and I think Tesla handled it really well. It did let the cars merge in to my lane, and then it's maintaining a good amount of distance. I think it senses that there's maybe like a work zone going on. It did ask me to put some pressure on the steering wheel, so it did maintain a lot of distance. So yeah, you see the message there: construction detected, navigate on autopilot limited. So that's the message you see here. So now it sees that we are out of construction zone. It's asking me to change the lane. So that's one of the reasons I still have the confirmation on, because there was someone merging on that lane and it still wanted to make the lane change. I don't know if it would have done it, but I didn't want to. That's why I like to review the situation first and then turn on the blinker, so that then it makes the lane changes. So we should be merging or exiting in about a mile. So we'll see how it handles that. So we are making our exit here. It turned it back onto beta, and then it should drive me the whole stretch here. So there is a right turn coming up in about 0.2 miles. So I've seen it struggle sometimes to get me over quickly to the rightmost lane, but I think it did. It's doing a great job here today. Okay, I think it did a great job in bringing me over to the right lane and then making the right turn. The person behind me is kind of in a rush. Okay, so it stopped here. It's yielding to the cross traffic. I think, again, pretty well handled. Though the actual lane is on the left, it's on the right only lane. Let's see what it does. Okay. Yep. Yeah, so it didn't recognize that. Let me mark it. So that was very poorly handled there, but pretty well handled here, because there was a truck which was slightly on our lane. It did bring me over a little to the left and then brought me back to the lane. It went over the center line and then brought me back to my lane. But yeah, back there, after it made the right turn, it went into the right only lane, and then it was going in too fast before it realized it's in the wrong lane, and then braked real hard there. So definitely not handled well. So I had to take over, bring it back to the lane, and then I turned the beta back on. So we have about 2 miles before our right turn. So I think it's just a straight road. It should handle this pretty well. Got me over to the faster lane, I think, because we have still about 1.4 mile left before our turn. So got me over here, but this looks like the slower lane now. So we'll see if it'll take me back to the other one. Yeah, so it is taking me back to the right lane because that ended up moving faster. So it does, do the lane changes. I think it's again based on your driving profile that you've set up. Mine is again for this drive, it's an average. Maybe if it was in chill profile, it would probably not do so many lane changes. So right is coming up in the next light. So it turned on the blinker. Yep, pretty good. I think it took a pretty good wide right turn. Well handled there. And my destination should be coming up in about 0.2 miles. The street we are on, it's not one of the smoother streets in Houston, so I have set my speed limit to 25. So if I was driving, I would have automatically slowed down. But now, so I've set it to 25 because I would want it to go slower. So I think in future, if it's able to recognize such minute details and slow down automatically, that'll be great. So you see a lot of patchwork done here on the road, so I prefer going a little slower on this, and a lot of shaky moments here. All right, so I think it'll stop on the street once we reach our destination, and I think it handled really well other than the one right turn there. So I'll go ahead and stop the video here. We are heading back from the vet appointment. So we are heading back now, and there is a bit of street driving here, so let's see how it does. And this is again a blinking stop light, which is not actually a stop sign, but so it's trying to make a right turn here. Okay, let me press the accelerator because I don't know if it noticed it was a stoplight. Again, I'm not sure if it knows when it's blinking and then if it's a stop sign or not. So I did press the accelerator a bit and then it started going. So it says autopilot paused, waiting for our turn, and then it marked the cars in blue. I think that's when it says that they came in first, and then now it should be good to go. So yeah, we waited for them and then started going. So this is a busy street with a lot of cars parked parallelly. And there's a truck trying to park here. Okay, so good that it didn't do a hard brake, which I was thinking it'll do that, but it didn't. So that's good. Handled it well. A lot of activity going on in this street, as you can see. Pretty busy, but I think so far it's been doing really well. So that intersection, I think there were again cars parked on the left, so it started going slowly a little forward just to make sure it has enough visibility and there was no one else coming on from the other way, and then it started going after it saw there was no one there. So I think so far it's doing pretty good and handled this busy street really well. What was going on there. It was trying to go into the right only lane again and got me back, so not sure what exactly happened there. So there are no lanes, so it is struggling a bit here, and it went to the other lane there. The lane markings are pretty bad, so let me turn it back on and then it should make the left turn here. Okay. So struggled a bit there, but got me back. So again, it's in the right only lane. So let me see if I can turn on the indicator for it and then bring it back on track. So struggled again a bit there. It should have been on the left lane, but then it was sitting on the right lane. So it's stopping. So this was interesting again. So there's a new. I think that's a new light that they are working on, and then it was covered up, so it started stopping. It started to slow down there, and then I think it would have stopped completely. I think it recognized it as a stop all the way, but it had to. I had to press the accelerator, and then it started going again. But yeah, there was a little bit of. It had a little bit of trouble back there for sure because of the lanes not being that evident. So we need to be on the left here. Yep. So it would have hit the curb now again. So it struggled again a bit there where the lane markings were not. The lane markings were good, but I don't know. I think it was struggling to make the decision if it needs to go on the right or on the left. So I had to take over and bring it back onto the left lane. So we'll be getting on the highway in about a mile here, but I do see some construction going on. This is going to be again interesting to see how it handles. We've been in this area before, a lot of construction going on from quite some time now. So let's see if there are any challenges that it'll face today. So I do see it's turning on the blinker. I'll turn it off because a lot of people were coming in pretty fast. I didn't want it to, get in front of them. Yeah, there were cars coming in too fast for it to just get on their lane. Wouldn't have been the right thing to do. So let me send the video feedback for that. So the lane looks like it's the right lane is ending there, and cars are merging in, and you do see the barricade show up in the visualization. So it asked me to apply. Okay, so it braked real hard there, thinking there was someone coming in on that lane, because there were construction workers there who were trying to remove the barricade. But I think it's fine, no harm done. So it has been doing that a lot. It is being a lot more cautious, I think, and even if it feels that there's someone, like maybe a car or a person who might, even if they're not in your lane, and but it will it does brake really hard just to make sure they are not in your lane. They won't come in your lane. So I wouldn't brake so hard but yeah, I think it's being a little cautious for sure. So this street, it's banked to the left here, as you can see. Banked to the right, maybe. I don't know how you'd call it, but it is banked, and it always makes me nervous here because it tries to go too close to the curb on the street, and that the way the street's designed, I think there's no way around it for it. But I think today it was better. I think it kept it centered for sure. So we'll be getting on the highway here in a bit, and I think that's where I'll go ahead and stop the video. So it shouldn't have come on the left only lane. You could have directly made the left turn to the center lane there, but I don't know why it did that. But it got me over, no issues. And let's see if it will. So that's interesting. So it crossed the double lane and then got me over, which I don't think it used to do that before. So pretty interesting scenario there. So I'll go ahead and stop the video here, because we are the rest of the drive is pretty much going to be on the highway, which is the standard full self-driving. So hope you like this video, kind of two parts, where we drove to my pet's vet, and then we drove back all the way in beta. I think other than the few places, it did really well, but I think there's definitely room for improvement. So I'll brake here and then merge myself back. So yeah, hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.